Okay, so this next one is one that I'm a little bit on the fence about. I had a sample of it and I liked it. I sampled it when I was on the West Coast though, and I bought it here, and I think it smells a little bit different. That happens a lot to me actually. There are fragrances that I buy that I really love in one location or the other, and then I bring it with me and then find that I don't like it there. Something about the way my skin chemistry is when I'm in one location or the other, it changes everything. And that's true for me about my hair and my makeup and like everything. If I'm in a different location, suddenly things are like crazy. But anyway, this fragrance that I'm talking about is Casablanca by Swiss Arabian. I really loved it when I sampled it earlier, and when I finally bought the bottle, I got it during Fragrance Buy's anniversary sale for a really good price. I still do like it, but there's something about it here that feels like the sweetness is more saccharine. So this is like a sweet candied apple kind of fragrance. I love that apple note. I think it's really beautiful. And it smells better on the skin than it does sprayed in the air on a strip. It does smell better on the skin and it dries down to a much creamier, fruity vanilla. But you know, it's not even that it's super sweet. I mean, it is definitely sweet, but there's something about the way that it's sweet that is making me a little bit sick here that I didn't experience before. But it's on the chopping block for me. I'm gonna play with it a little bit more and see if I can overcome that, whatever that feeling is, because it's a beautiful, it is a beautiful fragrance, but we'll see. So that's, I'm on the fence about, and I'm still gonna continue to test it out. It's not a goodbye yet. It's like one step away from chopping block. Does that make sense? Okay, Casablanca, Swiss Arabian. The next fragrance we will talk about is Dolce Gabbana Pour Femme. This is just the regular version. I own the Intense version and I really like that. So I picked this one up during the Fragrance Buy anniversary sale as well. Again, I really like it. Obviously, it is a little bit redundant having the Intense version already. I picked it up because it was a great price and the bottle's like tiny and cute, and I was like, oh, I'd throw it in my purse or whatever. I don't ever actually do that. Like, I don't really throw perfume in my purse, so I don't know why I even thought that I would do that with this. It kind of doesn't make any sense. I'm just not really sure of the occasion that I would wear it now. I think I really just bought it for the cuteness factor and knowing that I like the DNA. But I don't think I will utilize this more than I would use the Intense version. And I also have a clone from Armaf, Armaf Italiano Donna, which also has this DNA. I think that one is meant to be a dupe of the Intense version. So having already both of those, this might go. It might stay just because I think it's cute. We shall see. Dolce Gabbana Pour Femme. Here is one that has already been sold. I'm about to pack it up right after I film this, and it is Mon Guerlain Intense by Guerlain. And I really do like this fragrance. I like it a lot. It's beautiful. It's a more intense, like powderier version of Mon Guerlain. The reason I'm decluttering this is because I already own Mon Guerlain Sensuel. I own Mon Guerlain Floral. I own Mon Guerlain Bloom of Rose. I have a mini of Mon Guerlain Eau de Toilette. I have a mini of the original Mon Guerlain. And I already have a travel spray of this, so I just felt like I don't need it. This was one that I don't reach for as much as the Floral or the Sensuel. I don't know why, actually. I would have thought I would have liked this more because it has that powdery, like a little bit of an iris added to it, but in the end, I just didn't reach for it, and it's beautiful and I love it. And it took some deliberation for me to decide that I actually was going to declutter this. But ultimately, I had to be logical about things and not hoard for no reason. So this one is going Mon Guerlain Intense. And the last fragrance that is definitely going is in this absolutely hideous bottle. It is Armaf Katarina Light Blue. And it has this crazy vinyl bow, this weird, like, jelly looking cap. This is meant to be a dupe of Manifesto L'Elixir. I have not smelled Manifesto L'Elixir. I own a Manifesto L'Eclat, so I do recognize the DNA in there is very strong. So I imagine from what I've read and heard that this is a pretty good dupe for Manifesto L'Elixir. When I first got it, I really liked it. I think it dries down really beautifully on the skin, and like I said, it really does share that Manifesto DNA. But I have ultimately the same problem with this that I have with the Manifesto L'Eclat. There's just something in that vanilla note that's like, it's kind of custardy, I guess. That's not really the right description, but it does something to like the back of my throat where it feels like my throat is covered in custard goop. I don't know what that is. And the first couple of times I wore this, it didn't bother me as much, but I think it was because it was new or it had just come in from traveling. And, you know, sometimes you need to let a fragrance sit for a couple of days before it's really going to show you its full potency. And I think when this was like fresh off the delivery wagon, the offending note wasn't as prominent, and for whatever reason, I don't know if it's skin chemistry or if it's just the nature of the fragrance, but that note that bothers me in Manifesto L'Eclat showed up here. So I think it's beautiful. I think it's really loyal. It is loyal to the Manifesto DNA, but ultimately just not for me. I will say I layered this with YSL Libre, and it did something really fun where it created the vibe of YSL Libre Intense, and that was kind of fun, but it didn't seem worth it for me to keep it like only to layer with Libre. I don't know. Anyway, I got this again during the Fragrance Buy anniversary sale for a ridiculous price. I think I paid like, I don't know, less than $20 certainly for this whole 3.4 ounce bottle. So I'm a little disappointed that that's what happened. I guess I thought that the L'Eclat maybe had something in it and this wouldn't. Maybe that's what I thought. Anyway, this one is also going. So that is it for today. Thank you for hanging out with me. Let me know if you have tried any of these fragrances, if they're in your basket currently. Let me know what you're decluttering. And I will talk to you soon. Bye.